Hi there everybody, and welcome to another First Look Friday. This time, as you can see, we're looking at Arma Hobby's 1/40th scale P39 Aircobra. So as you can see, this is the P39 Aircobra from Arma Hobby. This is Devastating Devil version. So I've heard a lot of good things about Arma Hobby. Apparently their Hurricane is a particularly good kit. This particular one, feelings of it have been fairly muted actually. So why did I buy this one if it's not as good as the other ones? Well, because I like the aircraft. So what you like about it, I think it's a pretty nice aircraft. Yeah, I've already got another model by Edward back there. Have I done one of those? I don't know. Alright. Yeah, let's take a look at what it says in the box. So this is kit number 410. What else do we have on the box on this side? Very nice little painting I can see here. Down at the bottom here we have basically the same information. What's that? Is that Polish? Don't know. And over here it says in English, set contains plastic airplane model kit, decals for 3 different versions and masks. So I didn't notice. On the top here we have the vertical version. Are we in focus? AF. We're not focusing, are we? There we go. Anyway, on this side we've got the price, $39.99, which is a lot of money. Down part of the image, so basically for storage. And on this side we have same information, only in landscape mode. On the back we have even more stuff. Just a moment, this is not working for me. There you go, autofocus is now engaged. What can you do, huh? On the back here you got the 3 versions, again P39 Aircobra, and then 2 and the third one. What are these? P39 Aircobra 46 Fighter Squadron in the Gilbert Islands, late 1943. 363rd Fighter Squadron, 357th Fighter Group. Pilot Clarence Bird Anderson, Oroville, California, October 1943. This one hasn't got a pilot's name. And back down here, the last one is Winter 1944-1945. Lots of information on that. Anyway, for $39.99, this is fairly pricey. Especially when you know that, especially when I know that I could have bought it for £10 less, literally, including postage off eBay. So why did I pay £40 for this kit? Because I was in the shop and I had one and I wanted one and I had a credit card. Yeah. Anyway, enough of that. Let's take a look at what's inside the box. It's a side opening box, but inside you can see there's another box, something nice and sturdy, and little receipt. It's just something I forgot to do. Hold on. I think this is going to be a new thing for me, but when I shake the box, there's a bit of movement. Not a lot. And but it's not too bad. There's not a lot of empty space. Because when I bought this, the model shop, I also bought some. Can you sit there? No. I also bought some paints and glue. Where are they? Got a new one of these things. And Dave, the shopkeeper at Halifax Modellers World, keeps them behind the counter now, so that's how valuable they've gotten. Don't put it down there. Also bought a couple of paints, and turns out that you put them in the box there and they fit just perfectly. So the box and 3 paint tubs just stayed there nice and safe inside the bag. Anyway, that's totally beside the point. Yeah, in the box we have a bag with a couple of sprues, 3-4 sprues I think. Some other stuff here. Wow, first time we've looked inside the box actually, properly anyway. Got this little thing here which is no idea what it is. And then some more bits, some 3D printed parts I think. These are the undercarriage doors, gear bay doors. Not sure why they needed to 3D print these, but they have. And got a nice big instruction manual. And inside here we have decals and cut paint masks. Listen, can you even see this? Let's see if we can darken it a little bit, just a moment. Right, so we're having autofocus issues again. Why is it in manual focus? The camera switched itself to manual focus and I don't like that. The lens is in auto, the camera is in auto, and yet it's not focusing. Let's have a look. Because it should be focusing on that, but you know. Let me try to solve this, just a moment please. Okay, right, I think I've got it fixed. The camera was fixed in manual focus when it shouldn't have been, but anyway, got that fixed. Let's carry on. So then, yeah, so we have these cut masks. And it's very difficult to see the cutting, but yeah, they are die cut. I can see them very nicely, so this is coming very handy for painting. And you've got a nice set of decals here. Let's put all this aside and start with the instruction manual. Okay then, so what do we have here? Big glossy paper, lots of stuff on the front here. The top it says you've got a warning. Yeah, now a warning. Before you start, please read the instructions carefully, etc. And then you got stuff about the P39 Aircobra. He P39. I think that should say the P39. So missing a T there. Bit of a typo there, Arma Hobby. I can understand if English isn't your first language, but that I'm sure that's not the issue here. So down here you got the internals of what you have: decals, masks, clear parts, weight, which come in handy, and then the 3 sprues there, 3 other sprues there. Down here you got the colours that you're going to need for this model. So tell you the names of the colour: matte black, aluminium, insignia red, insignia white, insignia yellow, gunmetal, and other colours here: bell green, olive drab, neutral grey, coral sand, brackets, quotation marks, sky blue, and zinc chromate for the insides, no doubt. So you've got colours by Hataka, AKRC, Humbrol, Ammo, Mission Models, Vallejo, and Tamiya. Anyway, next page. Despite being glossy, it's not too reflective, so I think we're okay here. There's no page numbers, which is okay, I guess. And so you start with this here, which appears to be weapons, or not weapons. I don't know what that is. But basically it says something there, bend. Is that bend what? Because I don't recall there being any metal parts in this. So I guess you just need to bend the plastic piece. Stage 2 looks like the pedal. Stage 3 looks like the control panel with decals for it as well. Stage 4, more the rest of the control panel. So basically all this bit is internal cockpit cockpit pieces. So it looks like we are starting with a cockpit, as is tradition. More bits here. So cockpit, seats. So very detailed cockpit here. I can see that. Brass colour for this piece here. So is that the drive shaft for the propeller? I do believe it is. It's unlike a lot of airplanes at this time. The engine of this aircraft is behind the driver, behind the pilot. It's a mid-engine aircraft, if you like. Yeah, so down here on the next page, section 9, we're installing the weights, which is 3 ball bearings. Hopefully that'll be enough. I don't know if I've seen somebody say that they put this in, but it still wasn't enough. So I guess a bit of practice will be necessary. So you continue installing more bits in the cockpit, and then down here, this is in red, setting the radio, it says here. So you need to drill some holes from underside for setting radio. So what piece is that? B39, this thing here. They don't show you putting a radio on it unless the radio goes up underneath, which is this it? So down here it's got more holes to drill in the windows. Holes from the inside for setting cal 50 mgs. So at least they're telling you what some of the bits are. If we go back to this previous page over here, you'll see it says in English parts blah 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 B67 this here. For option 2, for option 3. Check your references. So I guess you need to check some references. Again, I've no idea what it is. I think that's to do with the colour that you're painting it, or how it fits. So while I do like this aircraft, I'm not very familiar with it. I haven't studied it, if you like. I just like what it looks like. Anyway, so you've assembled the fuselage there in section 11, section 12. You go into the wings, putting the top half and low half of the wings together with something in between. What is that? It just says L. So is that? Oh, L is the paint color. Let's go back to the beginning. Zinc chromate yellow. So again, I'm getting messed up here. So the items in blue are the colors, which is the color to paint it. So this is zinc chromate green, zinc chromate yellow rather, and then G here, which is on the inside, is bell green. So I've got to go a choice of 2 different colors. Let's carry on over the page. We're starting a build sections 13 to 20 inclusive on these 2 pages. Fill in the gun openings. So why do you need to do that? And then section 14, you're assembling the tail fin, or the tail wings, the horizontal stabilizer for the back end, and the fins, which are then assembled onto the aircraft. Looks like it's going to be a pretty nice fit. Here it tells you left side and right side of the inspection panel. Oh yes, this is the front of the vehicle. So you've got the little 3 holes. Remove fill-in inspection panel. So it's getting complicated already. I guess to understand what these mean exactly, you're going to have to look at the parts. So while you're assembling it, I hope this will be more intuitive, but at the moment, not so much. Section 17, prop the fuselage onto the wings, and then down here you got some other bits. Don't know what that is, don't know what this is, no idea. So I need to bend something here. Don't know what this is either. Is this something to do with the landing gear? I have no idea. It's just... So it looks like this part, there's some... Let me zoom in a little bit on that one. This part, A13, has, unless I'm very much mistaken, find something pointy, has just over there some cutouts. So you bend it to this angle here, and then you install part A33 to maintain the angle. So you've got it looking like that. Doesn't tell you what this part is or what it's for, or indeed why you need to bend it. But so anyway, down here you've got assembling the landing gear. Got the main gear, left and right, or port and starboard, and then at section 20 you got the nose gear, which is very tall. All the paint colours all there ready. So I suppose you could save a bit of or make it a bit easier and start and paint most of these bits while they're on the sprues. Certainly with the small bits like this, it should be a bit more should make it a bit more convenient. Yes, it does for me anyway. Your mileage may vary. Over the page, start at 21. Build section 21, and this is putting in the bits at the bottom underneath the aircraft. So lots of covers, doors, and so on. I'm guessing these are radiator panels, gear bay, doors, this piece here. Okay, so here I believe this piece is the bit that we're bending earlier on. It's part of the nose gear. Happily, you can install the landing gear after you've built up the fuselage, which is good. It's good for it's good for most builders, because it means that you're less likely to break it off, so you can put it in a lot later. Indeed, you can put it in after you finish all the painting and detailing, in fact. So that makes life a bit more convenient. So down here at the bottom of the page, you've got section 23, which is again continued assemblage of the nose wheel. I'm looking to try and understand this. So it looks like you drop this in. There's this bar that goes in the middle, which I assume is inside the nose gear bay. So you drop that in, a fork over that, slide it that way to fit it in. Very detailed directions of how to do it. So again, same thing here with the other part of the landing gear. Drop that in, and so on. I guess it'll make a lot more sense when you're actually assembling the kit. But right now it is a bit complicated, confusing, other words. So next page, we're at sections 24 to 27 on this page, and it looks like we're assembling the gondolas for the wing armament, the wing machine guns. And then you're putting the wheels on the next stage, dropping the fuel tank or bomb, whatever, or assembling the fuel tank or bomb, and then you're putting these aforementioned parts onto the underside of the wings. The machine guns there, also the doors for the nose wheel bay. And then over the next page, start at build section 28, you start with the propeller. So you put together a propeller, 3 pieces together there, and then the door. So it looks like the door has a pile of decals on it, all sorts of little decals. There is decals in it. Let me see what it tells me about it. Yep. So a little star in a square, that's decals. Is the door a clear part? I believe it is. Rather helpful, it doesn't tell you that. Oh yeah, T1 and T2, which are clear parts. So it means that you can mask off the window, the clear part of the clear part of the door, and paint up the door as necessary, assemble, attach all the decals, and you're all ready to go. So nice and clean job there. And down at the bottom here you have section 31. Section 31, which is basically some of the finishing bits. You're putting in you're dropping in the exhaust for the engine, which is here behind the part, and you're putting on the propeller and the pitot tube there, and so on the little aerial there. Here it says do not use for painting options 3. So is that the aerial? Let's have a look at the box. So painting option 3 hasn't got the aerial, unlike the first two. I'll probably be making that one because the box art is it's the reason I picked the box in the first place, so might as well go with that. Sorry. And So where are we now? So then you get to the final building parts. This is 32, and then you've got a choice of dropping a bomb on there or the fuel tank on there. And that's it. So down here you've got application of the stencils. So this is a sand color for devastating devil option. What is it? Again, a bit confusing already. Over the next page, you got the a more detailed image of the of your color options. So this is the devastating devil, the sandy colored one. See more. There is a QR code over here. So it looks like you can use the QR code to have a look what's going on, to get more information about this kit on the website. I believe that's what that means anyway. On the next page, number 2, you got the second color version. So this is the 330. This is Clarence Bud Anderson's aircraft from the 357th Fighter Group, Oroville, California, 1943. This one in the Gilbert Islands, late 1943. So it just tells you which fighter squadron it was, 46th, 15th Air Group, Macon, Gilbert Islands. So why would I go for this one? Because I like the colour match. Yep. And on the back page we've got the final one, which is the Russian version, and they haven't got an era on it. Look better like that. And there we have it. That's the instruction manual. A bit more confusing than I was expecting, to be honest. Very much of the show don't tell, showing you how the bits go together, and we're not telling you what the bits actually are. So yeah, it would be nice to know what all these pieces are, but I can't have everything, I suppose. Unless you're building a Wingnut Wings or a Tamiya or some other brands I could name, they'll tell you what all the pieces are. Anyway, that's the instructions. Let's have a look at some other bits. So we've had a look at the the masks. So masks for everything. So getting a close look here, you can't see it on the screen, I don't know if you can, but you got masks here for the doors. There's 2 there which are inside, it says in at the bottom there, and there's another 2 here which are the outside. So you can so you'll be masking both inside and outside of the door. Makes sense because you're putting detail on both sides of the part. So wheel masks, I believe, windows, blah blah, all the basics. So that's that. And now we have the decals. So again, my first look at Arma Hobby decals. So it does say on the bottom here, printed by Cartograph. So, you know, king of the decal makers have made this. Devastating Devil. So the decals look very nice. Very well aligned. No problems there. Seatbelt decals, and that decal there. There doesn't appear to be a pilot in here, so it's like you got no choice but to build it on the ground, wheels down. Of course, if you can find a pilot figure, then you can put him in the vehicle, in the cockpit, and build it wings up, which is what I'd like to do. I'm disappointed that there's not as many airplane kits that are made, that are designed to be built with the wheels up, with pilots and so on, because that's what airplanes are meant to do, fly up in the air, not sit on the ground looking pretty. Well, they do look pretty. They look a lot prettier flying through the air, like nobody can. But those are the decals. Very good decals there, no problems with those. Right, what's next? Got these little pieces here, which appear to be 3D printed pieces. So for this one, it's an error, so errata it says there. Get you all in. Remove air vent and use 3D resin part R1 R2. Oh, I see. I thought that was one piece, but if you look at it closely, it's actually two little flaps in there. They're very small pieces, so it's very difficult to show here. I guess I need to get the macro lens out and show that. But so what we have here is two little pieces 3D printed onto that piece there. And you've also got 3D printed gear bay, main gear bay doors. I'm not sure how much more detailed these are than the original, but we'll find out. But we'll find out shortly. I'm going to take this out of the bag because I can. Now they do look beautiful, I've got to say. Down just below it, it does tell you A2L A1R. So numbered as well. So I'm not sure why they felt the need to put 3D printed parts for the main doors, but I guess have their reasons. They don't mention it here, and in fact it's not mentioned in the instruction manual either. Let's have a look. So does this mean, so A1, A2, where are we there? So A1, A2, looking at the sprue map here, they are A1 and A2 on the sprue as well. So not sure how much better these are than the other ones. What's this errata here? Let's have another look at this. Parts R2, R1 and R2. Apparently they made R1 and R2 wrong. I can't see it. Nope. So I'm not sure what that's all about, but let's carry on. And to the plastic, to the main event. So I've got a large bag here. Well, not that large. A nice resealable bag. Let's get in there and have a look at the plastic. So we'll start with the clear parts, all bagged up in a fairly strong resealable bag, a Ziploc bag. You've got a nice little bit of curvature on it there. And the main cockpit cover is, as you'd expect, well, as I would expect for a model maker that is well renowned. They look nice and clear. So you've got clear parts over the transparent area, and you've got what you call it, satin finish over the non-transparent area. Over the non-transparent area, there's some nice demarcation, so you can easily, if you wanted to put in your own decal, if you wanted to put in your own masks, you could do that, but you don't need to because there's some nice masks applied. But so that would make that job a bit easier. Masks again for the doors there. plenty detailed, nicely detailed and so on. Then you've got some other little pieces here, more windows I think. And those are the clear parts. Not too shabby, I think. I find those are pretty nice. I've got to mention they've got these pieces here, which I think are for stacking the sprues. So basically these come out of the machine and just stack them on top of each other, so you've got a whole pile of them sitting there. That's what it looks like to me. Next up, off the top, we have sprue, which is this one, sprue A. So they're in very tiny writing, sprue A. So this sprue has mostly cockpit parts and the undercarriage bits there. So I'm just wondering why these parts have some scoring, black scoring on them. What happened there? No idea. Anyway, the parts themselves, these are some very fine detail parts. So this part 13 is a piece that you need to bend across that line there. And where's the other part that goes across to it? I can't see it. But anyway, you bend that there and then you put another piece across there to keep it in line. So I won't say the first time I've seen that, but it's something that I think is a pretty nice idea, just bending the plastic to make it fit. I suppose it makes it easier, better than actually having to mold it bent. That's what I think anyway. Anyway, all the parts are nicely detailed. The molding is very clean and crisp, no visible flash or anything like that. Looking at the door parts, the gear bay doors, they look exactly the same as the 3D printed parts. I don't see any reason to not use these over the 3D printed parts, because they look just as detailed and as nice as the 3D printed parts. Trying to see if there's any, because looking at them myself with my eyes, I can't see any noticeable improvement. So maybe when I build it, I'll put one of these on and one of these on, and then challenge people to tell me which is the 3D printed one and which is the plastic mold. We'll see. So next up is sprue C, and as you can see, this one has the wings on it and the wheels. All the wheels are two-part wheels. Got flat spotted wheels, propeller, the little bomb, and the fuel tank. The molding of this is exactly what you expect from a premium kit, a premium model maker. They all look beautiful. Nothing to worry about here. Some tiny bit of flashing on the inside of the propeller there, but nothing that can't be removed easily. Or is it supposed to be there? No, I think it's flashing. But there you go. Generally speaking, all very prettily molded. Very fine markings on the panel lines, or very fine panel lines I should say, and some riveting and so on. Nicely visible there on the wings. And that right there, that is sprue C. Sprue B I think is next. Let's get this out of the way. So sprue B is next, and as you can see here, this is fuselage, tail parts and nose parts. Another propeller. This time the propeller is much better molded. There is no flash in the middle there. You got some more tail parts, tail fins, internals, the cockpit section, tail wings there, and so on. So again, all looking very good. On the inside of the fuselage, some alignment parts, but very little detail that in there. Got these three pieces here, which are top of the nose. They look like fuselage gun markings, or rather little placement for the machine guns. So this one's slightly different to these two. These two look identical to me. They're almost identical. There's a slight difference with that just over there. This part here is different from this part here. The rest of these two are the same, and this one is different with the exits for the machine guns. This one has much larger ports. Got this piece here, which I first mentioned before. No idea what it is. And you got a spinner there. Was there a spinner on the other one? Nope. So it looks like you got just the one spinner. Why there's two propellers? I couldn't tell you. Maybe they're slightly different for the different versions. That's the two propellers. There's two on that sprue. There's a third one here. So how come I didn't notice this one before? Yeah. So you got three complete propellers. The confusion reigns with this kit. But anyway, I shall continue. This is sprue B, and very nice it is too. Last but not least, got a little baggie here with the 3 ball bearings. That's your nose weights for the aircraft. Yep, 3 ball bearings. So what do I think of this kit? I've got to say I'm both impressed and surprised at the complication in the instructions. I'm impressed by how pretty it looks, how good the molding is, and so on. The instruction manual does leave a little bit to be desired, in my opinion. They're not telling you what is what, so so a bit more information there would be helpful, at least for me anyway. Maybe I should compare this with the Edward version that I have and see what they make of the instructions. So here it is, if you want to take a look at that. I'll compare that over a year ago. Love the car doors, I called it. So yeah, so we'll see how these two kits compare. So let's take a look at what Scalenists have to say about it. Re-release, it says here. And what else do we know about it? So the full history of this model. Edward, I've done one. Academy, I've done one. So this Arma Hobby appear to have done it in 2024. So is it new for Arma Hobby? So it's a new tool in 2024. The one I have now is a Rebox in, when is it? 2025. So 2025 Rebox or 2024 tool. So it is a new model. So what that Rebox entails. Again, it doesn't say exactly what the difference is, but yeah, you can buy some other bits for it, some other masks, landing gear conversions. What I want really is a pallet for it, so I can build it in flight. But anyway, that's that. As I say, I do look forward to building this kit. The lights just dimmed a bit. So I do look forward to building this kit sometime. It does look nice. It does look like it's going to go together well. Still have my issues with the instruction manual not being as detailed or as informational as I'd like it to be. Is that a word? But there you go. Arma Hobby P39 Aircobra in 1/40th scale. Yeah. Anyway, if you like this video, tell your friends. If you didn't like it, tell me why. If you did like it, also thumbs up would be nice. And take care, everybody. Also, have a look at the other channels I mentioned below. These are people whose product I do enjoy watching, and I think you'll enjoy them too. So, and if there's other channels that you think are worth my time, mention them below as well. And thank you very much for watching, and happy modelling, everybody.